All right, so we are recording and give you just a couple seconds to grab some pen and paper. I promise you're going to want pen and paper tonight, and you are going to wish probably that you knew shorthand. But the good news is I am recording it, so you can go back later and watch. I hope it's okay. I'm sitting on my couch tonight. Got a little bit of jet lag going on. I don't know about Amber and if anybody of our other Jules are on here, but jet lag's real, and it's not fun, but that's okay because we have our Slim and our Edge, and I've been living on that today. But I decided to do the call tonight from the couch just because, yeah, I just needed to. And I saw Amber just yawn. So, yeah, Amber's got jet lag, and she's getting ready to leave again. So, okay, so you should have pen and paper by now. So let's go ahead. Amber, I'm going to turn over. Amy took a 3-hour nap. Yeah. Yeah, that would have been nice today. Somebody's unmuted. Let me see who it is. All right, so Amber, why don't you go ahead and unmute? And Amber is going to do the first part of our call, and she is going to fill you in on our trip. She is going to fill you in on some of the things we learned from corporate, and then I'll come back and fill you in on everything we learned from Carrie Wilkerson.
Cool. Thanks, Jana. Sorry, that was me that unmuted. Jonathan was calling the dogs upstairs. So let me start off by saying, yes, jet lag is legit and it's pain in the booty, but hey, small price to pay for the amazing time we just had. My husband and I are getting ready on Wednesday to leave to go to Israel. So we were 5 hours behind Dallas. Israel is 8 hours ahead of Dallas and 13 hours ahead of Hawaii. So who knows what we'll be like when we get there. But we're super excited about that. I want to talk to you guys just for a little bit. First of all, I want to tell y'all that a huge reason why we wanted to do this call was to encourage you guys, to tell y'all this is possible for every person. A year ago, right before, a year ago, I was Emerald when we went to the trip, and I had just gone Emerald. Year before that, I think I was Gold, So just a reminder that we all start from the same place. We're all doing on the same journey, building the same types of teams. So just keep that in mind that this is so doable for everyone. And then to also, we have to say a big major thank you. You don't have to be in this business for very long without knowing that you don't get very far without an incredible team. And while we were in Hawaii, Jana and I were able to shoot some of our Diamond documentaries. We're going to have 2, not just 1. That'd be weird. We don't do everything together. But he asked me, he said, tell me a little bit about your team. And I said, I know everybody thinks they have the best team in the world, but I really do. And even those of y'all that are on Jana's other legs, I still consider you a part of my team. We're all one big happy family team. And I love that. And just thinking about you guys today as I was driving home and getting ready for this call, and sorry, I have no makeup on, but hey, whatever. But was driving home and just thinking about how there are people on this team that either A, I would have never known if it weren't for Plexus, and they are my dear, dear friends, or B, we had known each other at one point, like my sweet friend Amy Triplett. We were college roommates. And then we had eventually just become Facebook friends, and this past week, me and Amy got to go on vacation together to Hawaii. Like, who gets to do that? It's all because of Plexus. We majorly reconnected because of Plexus. So just to fill you guys in on a little bit of the trips, they're just amazing. Those of you that have been to convention or leaders retreat and you've seen how Plexus does everything with such a high standard of excellence, the Diamond trip, the Emerald trip, the exact same. They were just absolutely incredible. Plexus went all out for us. With our meetings. We do have meetings while we're there, but they're kept short and sweet, and they're super duper fun. And they brought in, Jana's going to talk to you about Carrie Wilkerson. She's going to be with us at Leaders Retreat as well. We didn't even know she was going to be there in Hawaii. It was a surprise, and she was amazing. Y'all are going to love her, those of you that are coming to Leaders Retreat. They do different things for us. Corporate does different breakfasts and dinners. At the Diamond trip, this picture is actually really funny. We took a picture of all the diamonds, and they gave us this pretty frame for it. So this picture was taken at about 11 o'clock in the morning in LA by a drone, and we couldn't wear sunglasses. So literally in this picture, I'm doing like this just to try to have my eyes open at all. It was not the wisest thing not to have us wear sunglasses. And then when we got to Hawaii, they gave us sunglasses. We each got a pair of free Ray-Bans. Then they do different things like what we call our room drops for the night, where we had anything. I have props, you guys. We have anything from Emerald Extravaganza lotion and scrub and body wash to these really cool water bottles and all sorts of stuff. So they spoil us rotten. Telling you guys all that because I want each and every one of you there with us next year. Some of y'all are sitting here thinking that sounds like an impossibility. I was just on the Jules page and someone had asked if this was your first trip with Plexus to Hawaii, what rank were you at this time last year? And several people said that they were silver 1 year ago. Okay, that's crazy. But that tells me it's completely and totally doable. These are real life people that are doing it. You know, it's not like a Plexus robot that got this done. So anyway, I just want you guys to know this is so doable for everyone. I can't guarantee that you'll meet Jack Black on your airplane like I did, but it's still really doable and a super fun trip. The Diamond trip and the Emerald trip. Next year, we are going to Maui for both trips. So those that are Diamonds will just be in Maui a little bit longer at a resort there. Maui's a ton of fun. That's where we went last year. So much fun. So during our meetings on these trips, Tarl and Alec also take time to talk with us, fill us in on different things going on in corporate. I want you guys to hear us say that our leadership at corporate, especially those two executives, our CEO, Tarl Robinson, and our president, Alec Clark, they are legit. They have our backs. They are solid stand-up guys. I don't think I've ever heard Alec get up and start speaking without mentioning his wife and family. And I, for one, absolutely love that he puts them first. So I want to share with you guys, or we want to share with you guys just some news from corporate that they rolled out to us on these trips. So first of all, there's something coming out called the Rank Up Roadmap. This will be released and rolled out at Leaders Retreat. You guys, this is huge. Those of y'all that were in Hawaii and you got to hear all about the Rank Up Roadmap, you know what I'm talking about. This can be a game changer for those trying to hit those first few ranks. And it's my understanding that they are going to have a Rank Up Roadmap for every single rank. They're, of course, starting with silver. They're going to do some test runs of it, make sure it's good, it's solid, but it's going to be really, really good. So that's something to look forward to that you're going to get to hear about at Leaders Retreat. I honestly believe, Jana believes, that this will help us a lot with attrition, with hanging on to those people that sign up and you need to get some training really quick. Something else coming out, they talked about this a little bit at convention, is the Success on Demand that we're going to have access to. It's in the final testing. It will be accessible from our back office, and an email will be sent out to all ambassadors when it's available. It's a great tool. You're going to be able to access the entire Success on Demand magazine. It's going to be a really, really great tool for our businesses. Okay, so this one, Tarl actually talked about this in our Diamond meeting and at the Emerald Extravaganza meeting. Fraud. He talked to us for a while about fraud and about what's been going on and some of the things we've been seeing in our back offices. I found it really interesting. He mentioned to us that when the chip cards came out, you guys know what I'm talking about with the chip cards? I don't even understand them. I'm like, if someone's going to steal my card, they're going to steal my card whether it has a chip in it or not. But that's beside the point. I don't get it. So when these chip cards came out, people could no longer take a stolen debit or credit card and go into Target or Best Buy or wherever. They're now looking at online fraud. They have your card and that chip doesn't really pay a whole lot of attention to online fraud. Online fraud, since the chip cards have hit, has gone up by 20%. That's across the board. That's not just Plexus or network marketing. That's across the board. Plexus, this is so exciting to me. Plexus has hired a new software company that specializes in fraud protection, and this should help tremendously, okay? Remember, as I'm going through this, what I mentioned earlier, that they have our backs. They see that this is an issue. They've hired a company. They're working on it. Coming soon, customers will be able to try 2 or 3 times, and then they will get a message saying that the order is being processed, and Plexus will get in touch with them. So if their card isn't going through, something weird like that is happening, Plexus will be contacting them so that their order is just not lost in space. Okay, I absolutely love this. Next, they addressed eBay and Amazon. And when they did, there was kind of a rumble through the crowd. We were all like, oh, eBay and Amazon. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. Those of you that are brand new, please don't let this startle you or anything. But we have some fraud going on eBay and Amazon, people selling our products that way and doing different things. Plexus has hired a law firm to get to the bottom of all of this and get these people off of eBay and Amazon and any other sites like that you've seen it sold on. The new fraud protection should cut down on eBay and Amazon sales as well. You guys, this is huge. This is awesome. When he started talking about this, I mean, I wanted to give him a standing ovation just for hiring that law firm, getting to the bottom of this, and getting some of that stuff out of there. All right, so round of applause. Yes, amen. I know some of y'all, I saw you give the thumbs up and everything. We are excited about that. Okay, this is so exciting to me. I kind of geeked out a little bit when they were showing us this. We got a preview of our brand new mobile-friendly Plexus site. Okay, if I remember correctly, and Jana or Amy, Ashley, if you're on here, you can tell me, they're going to be showing that same preview at Leaders Retreat, correct?
Yes, that was my understanding.
Okay. You guys, it is awesome. The whole demonstration of it, and in and of itself is really well done, really thought through, and really put together. And when they showed us how the new mobile site is going to work and how it's going to look, it's extremely user-friendly. It's easy to read. It's easy to navigate. It's not bogged down with gobs and gobs of information. You can find that information if you want it. It's there at your fingertips, but it's not right there in your face, which I think is really exciting. It keeps it a lot more user-friendly and a lot more accessible. So those of you that are coming to Leaders Retreat, you'll get to see that, and then they'll be rolling out that mobile site really, really soon. Okay, they talked to us a little bit about the future of Plexus and what that looks like. This really got me excited. I tell people all the time that Plexus is here to stay. We're going to be a household name. And hearing them talk about it just got me even more excited. The next 4 years will determine the future of our company. It will be a legacy company. A company, this is Tarl's word. I think it was Tarl's words. A company your family can look back on with pride and know that you helped to build our company. We have a 4-year product plan in place to become a legacy company. He mentioned at the Diamond meeting, we're never going to have hundreds and hundreds of products, which I'm so grateful for. But we have a 4-year product plan in place. They have hired 3 new scientists in the last year to help with this. Alec, he's so funny. He was saying how, the product testers were basically just me and Tarl, and we'd take something and they'd be like, how do you feel? He was kidding, exaggerating a little bit, but it was funny to hear him say it. So they've hired 3 new scientists in the last year to help with this. And eventually they want health programs, not just products. So we are going to have a weight loss program. We are going to have an energy program. Different programs like that will be set in place, which I'm super excited about. Are y'all excited about that? I know I can't hear you guys, but I can see you. Okay, I think it's going to be awesome to be able to tell people who are wanting to lose weight, hey, look at our weight loss program, okay? And I don't think none of this that I'm telling you is too far down the road, okay? It's all right around the bend. Communication. This is going to be brand new. We are going to have an email coming out from corporate every Monday telling us what is coming up in the coming week. Okay, so you'll get an email on Monday and you'll know what's going to be happening on Thursday. If there's something new rolling out on Thursday, or you'll know whose Diamond documentary is coming out on Wednesday, different things like that, just to kind of give you something to look forward to for that week. It's going to be proactive communication, all right? They're going to be testing that communication really soon. Live chat. It is in demo right now. They are demoing the live chat feature on our website with our Australian ambassadors, and they're going to be getting it over to the U.S. really soon. I love that they're demoing it. They're making sure this is ready to go before they roll it out to us. And that's so very important. But can you imagine you have a question that needs to go to corporate? You can just sit right there on your computer, type it in, live chat with someone, and never have to pick up that phone, okay? Sometimes picking up the phone just gets a little too people-y, and you need just the live chat feature. Y'all know what I'm saying? Alrighty, next, attrition. Oh, they said this word, and again, there was a rumble. We're like, oh, attrition. It's a terrible word. The company is going to start to communicate more with customers and ambassadors, and there's possibly a loyalty program coming out pretty soon. Okay, so the company, corporate itself, is going to be doing a lot more communication with our new customers and new ambassadors to try to help with that attrition. There's a retention team and save team, keeping those ambassadors and customers happy and ordering. You guys, this is huge. It's not just going to be you communicating with your customers anymore. There's going to be communication coming from corporate. Philanthropy. They talked to us about this. Y'all have probably seen, let's see, in July we had the horrific events here in Dallas with the police officers, and about a week later we got an email telling us that Plexus Corporate was sending $10,000 to the police officer foundation. Then everything that's happened in Louisiana with the flooding. We had a team that, like, of our liaisons and stuff that didn't come to Hawaii because they went to go help with flooding in Louisiana and rebuild stuff. It kind of made me feel a little bit guilty for being in Hawaii. I was like, oh. But they are donating money to that as well. In the month of October, because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, they have teamed up with Cancer Association, with the Cancer Society. We are going to be doing a 5K at Leaders Retreat. This is a walking 5K at Leaders Retreat. All right, you can run it if you want. You are not required to pay a dime to enter this Leaders Retreat, or enter this, you don't have to pay to go to Leaders Retreat either, but to enter the 5K, okay? It is simply just to raise awareness, and then there will be places there where you can donate to the Breast Cancer Society, but it's not required or anything like that. Like some 5Ks have the entry fee and this doesn't. So I absolutely love that. I love that that Plexus is, you know, we're using what God has given us for so much good, and I'm so very thankful for that. I mentioned earlier that Plexus had Carrie Wilkerson come in and speak to us at our Emerald meetings, and you guys, oh, she's incredible. Follow her on Facebook, get her books, follow her on Twitter. If she's ever in your area, try to go hear her speak, and she will be at Leaders Retreat here in just a couple weeks here in Dallas. She is a pastor's daughter. She's from Texas, and her dad was in the military. So me and Jana were like, we've got a little bit in common with you. She's hysterical, absolutely hysterical. And Jana is going to talk to you a little bit now about Carrie Wilkerson and what she had to say to us.
All right, thank you, Amber. So excited about the information that Plexus gave us. I wanted to point one thing out to you because Amber was saying how some people were silver this time last year and they went to Hawaii this year. Sunday Anderson, my personal sponsor, was silver in September of 2013, guys, and she went to Hawaii in September of 2014. So if you guys get what I'm saying, she was silver, made emerald by July 31st, 2014, and went to Hawaii. So it is doable. You guys can do this. And then I wanted to just point out all this exciting stuff that's coming. It's all coming down the pike. We don't know when exactly a time frame on some of this stuff. Some of it's going to be really soon, and some of it is going to be on down the road, but isn't it exciting to hear about this stuff? Like, I am so pumped about it. I am just thrilled that they are taking the action that needs to be done on some of this. And, you know, the really cool thing about our corporation is that so many network marketing companies start with an exit plan and they work their way backwards. Plexus has no exit plan. For those of you that are new to network marketing, that's a really, really good thing. I hope you guys understand the, somebody just share the screen. How did that work? Oh, there we go. Okay. I don't know how somebody else did that. Okay. So they have no exit plan. It's an awesome thing. I love corporate, and man, it's so exciting. As Amber mentioned though, they brought in Carrie Wilkerson on that Tuesday. That's okay, Meredith. It's no problem. on that Tuesday, we're in our meeting and we're sitting there going, I wonder who's going to speak to us, because last year, I will say, went last year to Hawaii for the first time, and they do have a couple meetings while you're there. So you're thinking, oh, I'm in Hawaii and I'm going to meetings. I'm telling you, they are probably one of the highlights of my trip, because they were amazing last year. Debbie Sullivan came in. Isn't that her name, Amber? Is that correct? Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, she was so good. And so honestly, we were sitting there this year, I was thinking, I haven't heard who they're bringing in. And the next thing they know, they got up and they made all these corporate announcements that Amber shared. And then they said, Carrie Wilkerson, the Barefoot Executive, is here. And we were like, oh my gosh, she's here. And oh man, she was so good. So I am going to give you a recap tonight on everything we learned from her. As Amber mentioned, I felt like I really related to her. And the thing about Carrie is she knows network marketing. She has been in this business for years. She gets where we're coming from and she knows us. And so I will tell you, though, some of the things I'm going to share with you tonight, keep in mind, they're coming straight from her. And Carrie Wilkerson shoots straight with you. She does not, try to sugarcoat it. She tells you like it is. And I really appreciate that about her. So she started off with the phrase, make more, live more, and give more. And that was on Tuesday. That was her whole talk on Tuesday was centered around that. She started off by saying, this is your business. It's your life. It's determined by your attitude and your perspective. And guys, you can do things your way. This business can be as much or as little as you want it to be. And that's a great thing, guys. It really, truly can be a hobby, or it can be a full-time career for you. It's what you decide and what you want to make of it. All right. So the first thing she talked to us is about success. And guys, success is in the eye of the beholder. We all know that, I think. So stop comparing your version of success with someone else's success. Everyone has a different starting point, and everyone works at a different speed. Everyone's experience is going to be totally different. So you may join Plexus and you may fast start gold. You may go gold in your first 30 days with Plexus. And then again, it may take you a year to go silver. Guys, remember, this is all about your journey, and the definition of success will be different for everyone. And I love that that's what she started out her talk saying. So determine what success looks like for you. And then I want you to tell your family what your goals are. Once you determine what does this mean for me? What is the word success with Plexus? What does it mean for me? What does it look like for me? Once you determine that and you define that, then you need to share it with your family. So whatever your goal is, whether it's to go to Hawaii next year or it's to be gold in the next 6 months, whatever your goal is, and either one of those are doable for any person on this call. I just want to throw that in there. Whatever it is, though, these tips that I'm going to give you tonight will help you get there. So first thing is mindset. So you've got to keep in mind that you will never build an executive business with a hobby mindset. Did you catch that? You will never be able to build an executive business with a hobby mindset. All right? So determine why you want to make more money. We talk about this all the time about your why, but you need to sit down and really, if you've never done that, you need to sit down and get a pen and paper out and determine what your why is. Why do you want to make more money? It goes a whole lot deeper than just saying, I want to make more money to help my family. I promise you it goes deeper than that. So you need to find something that matters beyond you. So what is that? Is it retirement? Is it college for your kiddos? Is it giving more to charities? You need to sit down and dig deeper and figure out what it is and what is going to drive you to do this business. What will this mean for you and your family? Did you get what I said? What will it mean for you and your family? Will it mean more time with your family? Will it mean taking the pressure and the load off of your spouse that he's carrying or she's carrying? That that is a weight on their shoulders of how you're going to pay for college, or maybe even just how you're going to buy groceries next week. What is that going to do for you? What is it going to look like for you? And then you found your why. All right. So you need to determine why it is you want to make more money with this business. She got to talking about people, and you guys remember, people matter most. That's what matters in this business. Love people and let people love you back. When you do this, everything else in your business will come. So you've got to remember, we are in the relationship business. So while, yes, this is our business, and we will talk a little bit later on, a little bit about putting your business hat on, we are 100% also in the relationship, in the people business. So number one thing to take away right now is to make sure that you are investing and loving on your people. You will end up growing. Everything else will fall into place when you do this, okay? She talked to us then about how to work smarter and not harder. So I think that's really important. I know I need that because you can get really hung up on working super hard and in time-consuming work. And really, we need to be focusing on working smarter. And what does that look like? So one of my biggest takeaways, and it was actually something that the Lord's just so been working on my heart over the last few months, is she talked about margins. And I love this because our pastor talked about it not too long ago. And so it just kind of all fell into place for me and really helped me make some decisions for my life and for my business. But one of my favorite phrases that she said was, those who are hurried don't have the capacity to love well. So that's a tough one, isn't it? Because we live in a hurried world. We're always hurry, 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 hurry and do this, hurry and do that. And when we're hurried, we don't really have the capacity to love well. The people that love us aren't being served when we have no margins. So I got a little prop just for you guys. Just make sure you guys get what I'm talking about. So you guys all know a piece of notebook paper. Maybe been a while since you wrote on one of these, but every piece of notebook paper has a margin, guys. We have a margin. These are not supposed to be filled in. These are supposed to be left open. I can remember actually being in school. I'm going to turn around so you can see the red line better. I can remember being in school and getting in trouble if we wrote in the margins. I don't know if you had any teachers like that, but we were not allowed to write in the margins. And so, guys, we need to have margin in our life. It's so important that we do. And this is a family business. And I want you to remember that. You are not an island. You are not meant to be an island in this business. Our family should get our time and attention. And one of the things she referred to our family as, and I love this, was our shareholders. Our family are shareholders in this business. And she encouraged us to have shareholder meetings and sit down with our families and say, determine what this looks like. What does this business look like for us? What is it going to do for us as a family? How are we as a family going to achieve these goals? It's a team effort. Get your family involved, and you will find that you will be able to achieve a whole lot more when your family's on board and you are not alone trying to work this business all by yourself. That's going to come when you have margins in your life. So make sure you create margins. One of the things that, this isn't something she shared, but it was just, I wrote this down in my notes when she was talking about this. Was how my pastor not too long ago was talking about margins, and he made the reference that God speaks in the margins. And what really hit home with me was my vacation this past summer, when I just took a break. We were off. We were in Florida together as a family, and I wasn't really working a whole lot while we were there, and, just got to enjoy being with my family. And man, how God spoke to me and how God kept bringing things up that I needed to pray about. And I needed to bring to him prayer requests for my girls. God speaks to us in the margin, guys. For those of us that are believers, trust me, he does. So create those margins in your life. It'll be so important, and it'll be so important as it flows over into your business. So if you want people to want what you have in this business, you have to build in margin. One thing that I love too is, you remember, your leadership And all of you, if you have added one person into this business, you're a leader. Okay. So remember that you don't have to have a massive team. If you've added one person into this business, you are a leader. So your leadership though is beyond your downline. And so use your margin to minister. Isn't that good? Use your margin to minister, because your leadership goes way past your team and your downline. She talked to us about give more. So leadership is not just a title. Just because you maybe have a title, maybe you're a gold ambassador, maybe you're a senior ruby ambassador, maybe you're a diamond ambassador. Just because you have a title doesn't make you a leader. So I want you to remember, like I just said, if you've invited one person on this journey, you are a leader. So you have to step up into that role. So give of your time to help them reach their dreams, help your team reach their dreams. And when you do that, I promise that you'll reach yours. So step up into that leadership role and be the leader that God designed for you to be. She talked about being proactive, be positive, be productive. When you do those three things, you'll have a lot less time to complain or worry about things. So be proactive, be positive, and be productive. When we're griping or complaining, you know what we really should be doing? We should be working. So she used the phrase a lot. I can hear it in my head over and over. She would say, so stop it. That would be the phrase she kept using. So stop it. So stop the griping. So stop the complaining and get to work. And when you do that, you will see results. And remember, guys, I'm not the one being hard on you here. Carrie is. I'm just relaying everything she said here. So I sound mean, don't I? Stop it. But it's just straight from Carrie. Okay, so she talked about legacy. Will what you're doing now affect those who come behind you? Legacy matters. So why do we do what we do? We do it so we can live more, so we can give more, and so we can make more. And so I want to encourage you to be the rock that causes the ripples. Isn't that good? Be the rock that causes the ripples, guys. All right, so somebody asked what those three things were. It was be proactive, be positive, and be productive. All right, guys, so she ended that day, that was on Tuesday, and she ended that day with be the rock that causes the ripples. So we came back Thursday, and she challenged us. We were stirred when we left Tuesday, and we were just dying. I know I was so ready to get back Thursday because I wanted to hear what she had to say, because I knew Thursday she was going to tell us, how do we do that though? All that stuff, all that motivational stuff, that's good stuff, isn't it? But how exactly do we do it? What does it look like from in day-to-day life? What does it look like? And boy, did she bring it. I mean, she brought it home and she told us. So I'm going to share with you for the next few minutes, how do we do this? So this is basically the next few minutes. I'm going to share with you the how-tos to get your results. So listen in closely, because these are the daily activities. These are the things that you have to do to get to Hawaii next year, guys. Okay. So she uses the acronym BRAD. So a lot of the jewels are now like, Brad is my best friend. I love Brad. So if you hear that, no, they're not really talking about a guy named Brad, unless maybe Brad's their husband, but they're talking about the acronym that Carrie used. So go ahead and write that down, maybe along the side of your page or along the top, and we're going to fill that in. So BRAD, the B stands for boundaries. So you have to set boundaries when we're talking about your business, or really anything in life. But you have to set boundaries, and you have to be firm on your boundaries. The first area she talked about is boundaries with people. So she encouraged us to write a list of maybe your top 5 or 10 people that you spend the most time with. Write their names down. Then she encouraged us to put a positive sign or a negative sign next to their names. That was kind of hard to do. How do those people make you feel? Are those people filling your cup? And she obviously then encouraged us to spend more time with the people with the plus sign by it. And it doesn't mean you write out the people with the negative sign in your life. A lot of times we can't do that, right? But it does not mean that they have to be the closest people in your life. So I want to encourage you to do that. It's not easy and it's not always pretty and it's not always fun, but I want to encourage it for you to do that because it is very important that we have those boundaries with people. And it's very important that we think about who we are surrounding ourselves with. The other area that she talked about is boundaries with our team. And as you start to grow a team, you will realize that this is very important. But she talked to us about, as you start to grow a team, that you do not have to answer every single message the second you get it. Boy, she was like talking to me right there. I think she said, Jana Hooten, you do not have to do that. She didn't really, but it sounded that way in my head. I'm really bad about this. And part of it is because I feel like I'm going to forget if I don't answer it. So I answer right away. But I have the most wonderful team that doesn't take advantage of it, but I know a lot of teams will. I've never felt like my team takes advantage of that, but a lot of teams will take advantage of that. And then the next thing you know, you're getting messages at midnight and you're getting messages at 4 a.m. and your phone never shuts up. So set those boundaries with your team. Do respond to them. Please respond to your team. Please don't leave people hanging. But it doesn't mean you have to respond to them the second they ask you, okay? You have to have boundaries. Make schedules. She talked to us. Yes, do not disturb hours, definitely. Make schedules. When are you going to work? Let your team know what your schedule is and your hours that you are available. And she even went as far as to say that when she is working, she works from home. She does not even take unscheduled phone calls. When it's work-related, and she has her schedule set for the day, she does not even take unscheduled calls. So as your team grows, I think you'll see the necessity for some of those, definitely for some of those tips. I love this. The hurried business owner doesn't serve well. So it's why it's important that we have these boundaries, we set these hours, and we stick to them. And we are very, very strict about keeping them. She talked to us about boundaries with your places, which, wow, it was a really good one for me. Do you have a designated workplace? Do you have a place? Now, it doesn't mean you have to have a room. I'll be honest with you. I do not have my own office in my house. I don't have it. I would love to have it someday if we move, which we've talked about, but I don't have it right now. So I have a couple places that I work from. It's either at my kitchen table. And today I did a lot of work from my backyard because it's one of my very favorite places to work because it's quiet and it's peaceful and I love it back there. Maybe you have a separate, she mentioned like a chair or like a prayer chair that you go to. Maybe that is where you're also going to sit and do your work. But have your boundaries with your places. That even includes like your cell phones. My girls know they do not touch my cell phone. I do not have any games on my cell phone. I don't have one game. And Carrie was saying she doesn't either. Your cell phone needs to be for your work. Then she talked about, then this goes into not just your work, your boundaries with your places, but your dinner and family time without electronics, guys. You guys know this. Set those boundaries with your places. She talked about boundaries with our promises. Be careful what you commit to. Because sometimes we do need to say no. When you are having, hang on just 1 second, guys, sorry. You need to be careful with boundaries with your promises. Be careful what you commit to. Sometimes you do need to say no. And what I was saying was during periods of momentum, you may have to say no to other things to be able to serve your team the right way. And you do not want to overcommit or you will get burned out. However, if you make promises, and we're talking maybe promises to, I'm talking about promises outside of your business even. If you make a promises to church, something at church, or to something at your kid's school, please keep your promises. If you don't keep your promises, it reflects on you and in turn reflects on your business. So be careful when you make those promises, guys. If you make them, then follow through with them. All right, the R in Brad stands for routines and rituals. So routines and rituals, some people love them, some people hate them. So you probably know right away if you are a lover of routines and rituals or if you're like, ew, that's dirty words around my house. But here's what I'll tell you. It is going to help your life flow better if you can get some routines and rituals in your life. So one thing she talked about is to stop making decisions that you don't have to make. Have a morning routine. Know what your morning routine is every morning. Mine actually changes because my girls, we have a little bit of a different situation. My girls go to a university model school. So they actually go to school Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We homeschool Tuesday, Thursday. So my Monday, Wednesday, Friday looks very similar, and my Tuesday, Thursday looks very similar. But whatever your day looks like, have a morning routine. Is it get up, get the kids fed, get the kids to school, work out, or maybe it's that you then go to work. Whatever your routine is, keep it simple, but keep it. All right? Something else she talked about then is when you sit down to work, then have a work day routine. Have a start work day routine. One of the things she talked about is the first thing you're going to do when you sit down to work is list your top 3 things that you must achieve before noon. Notice I said 3. Don't list 22, guys, because you'll never get it done, and then you'll be discouraged and you'll walk away from it. List your 3 top things that you have to have done before noon. She talked about she talked about basics, like even keeping your wardrobe simple. She talked about several big CEOs. I can't even think of who it was, but several people who they wear. Who is it? The guy that wears the same exact thing every day? Is that the guy, the Facebook guy? I don't remember.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yes, Mark Zuckerberg. He wears the same exact thing every day. It may be a little boring. I don't really want to go quite that far. I do like a little variety in my wardrobe, but keep it simple. All right, so that you don't have to spend 15 minutes every morning to figure out what you're going to wear. Another thing she mentioned for us ladies, have dinner planned by 9 a.m. Know that either you're going to go throw something in the crock pot, you know what you are cooking that night. So there is no question. Have it planned by 9 a.m. and just make that part of your ritual.
Now, Jana, just to clarify, she never said 9 a.m. So I was thinking I can have it planned by 9 p.m. That's probably not a problem.
Yeah, Amber actually looked at me. It's like, does she mean a.m.? I'm like, well, I think so, honey. I think she means 9 a.m.
I knew she did, but she just kept saying 9, and I was like, I can do that. Anyway.
Have dinner planned before 9 p.m., guys. That's a great ritual. All right, so, then decide what days you're going to work out. Make that part of your life, guys. Exercise will change your life and will change everything about your life. It really will. So decide up front what days you're going to do it. Is it going to be every Monday, Wednesday, Friday? When you make the decision up front, then every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the decision's made. You don't have to second guess it or go back on it. You just need to know that you've already decided to do it. So you're going to do it. All right? Make that decision ahead of time and make it a ritual. So we talked a little bit about your workday routine, and she said the very first thing you do, list your top 3 things to achieve before noon. Other things, send 3 messages to your leads, respond to emails and messages, etc. Okay? Then she talked about having a sign-off routine. Woohoo! Light bulb moment. I love it. What is your sign-off routine? How do you quit work for the day? It's important. How do you do that? How do you wrap it up to where you can close the laptop, you can close the calendar, and you are done for the day? Have a sign-off routine. All right. The next thing I'm going to talk to you is, gosh, she talked about so many wonderful things, but this is probably my favorite thing. I think I can safely say this. It is honestly probably my favorite thing ever, but it's so simple, but so powerful. She talked about us having power hour, okay? What she said was, well, let me ask you this first. How many on this call right now can raise your hand, and don't give me just a second before you raise your hand. You can commit to working your business 4 to 5 hours a week. Raise your hand if you can commit to that. I know I can. Okay, there's several of you that can commit to working your business 4 to 5 hours a week. I see a lot of hands. So I'm going to tell you what I mean by this. You have, what she encouraged us to do is 4 power hours a week. This will transform your business if you have the discipline to do it. I say that with 100% of my belief that if you do this, it will transform your business. What is a power hour? These hours, you will sit down. You will have already had a snack to eat. You will have already looked at your phone and responded to any text messages. You will not, need to go to the bathroom because you will have already done that. You will sit down and you will set your timer for an hour. And during that hour, there are no incoming anything. There are no incoming calls that you need to answer. There are no text messages. There are no Facebook messages. There are none. During that power hour, you will focus on your leads and your leaders. Get it? Leads and leaders. That's it. Because your leads become your leaders. So your whole focus, if maybe you're gold or you're senior gold, your whole focus should not be your leaders. They are part of your focus, but guys, you have to focus on your leads. Everybody know what I'm talking about? A lead? Your potentials. Those are your leads. Your leads become your leaders. Your leads drive your business. So for that hour, you will sit down and you will follow up. You will send out cold messages. You will follow up with your leaders. And for one solid hour, you will work hard on your business and you will commit to that hour. Can you guys picture with me what I was sitting there thinking? Are you picturing the same thing? I hope you are. When she said that, it was like a light bulb moment. It sounds so simple, right? But if we would commit and we would decide up front and have the discipline up front to schedule that on our calendar and stick with it, can you imagine what 4 solid hours a week of you working with your leads and your leaders would do for your business? If we all did that, I can guarantee you we would see some massive momentum take place on this team. I mean, huge momentum. But the thing is, you have to have the discipline to do it when no one's watching. All right. So it's easy to raise our hand right now, but what will happen tomorrow when you've made the commitment? Okay. So a couple things about routines and rituals. They should be personal. They should apply specifically to you. My routines and rituals will not work for you and yours will not work for me. So you have to figure out what works for you and they have to apply specifically to you. They should be personal. They should be bearable, guys. So getting up at 4 a.m. to go work out and then come home and make a massive breakfast for my whole family and then start work by 5:30 a.m. is not bearable for me. I do not want to do that. It might be bearable for you, but it is not bearable for me. So do not overextend yourself and do something crazy and then by day 3 you're ready to die because you can't take it. You can't do it. It should be bearable. It should be memorable. So simple steps. You should not have a list of 27 rituals to do every day. Keep it simple. Keep it to where you can remember it. You should not have to always be looking at your calendar to know what the next thing you're supposed to do is. You should be able to remember it. It should be simple. It should be able to be replicated. So it should be something that I can do every morning. Every Monday through Friday. What is my routine? What is my ritual? I should be able to do it every day. And all your routines and rituals, guys, the biggest thing about this, they are non-negotiable. So for those of you that do Plexus full time, and we have a lot of you on here, you do Plexus full time. You probably know people that think, she mentioned this, how, okay, so they're like, oh, Jana works from home. Jana can meet me for lunch, or Jana can watch my baby, or Jana can do this. So maybe you've run into that situation too. When it is your work day, it is your work day. And so she even mentioned how her brother called her and said, hey, can you watch my baby? You work from home. And she was like, oh, I love you so much, but it is my work day. I can't do it today, but I'll help you find a babysitter. So you have to determine where that is, where those boundaries are for you, but your work days need to be your work days, okay? So they are non-negotiable. So have boundaries, set that margin, and then remember that it is non-negotiable. The A in Brad stands for accountability. Okay, 3 areas in accountability that she talked about: recording, reporting, and responsible. So she talked about recording. Record your trends. All right, so here's what we mean by that. You need to be recording the trends in your business. So some of you have gone through major momentum in your business. You need to record a couple things during that momentum. What were you doing? What was your team doing? What were the circumstances around that momentum? And then you need to record for us in our business. The main thing we're looking at is our points, our pay points. So I actually record my pay points at least every 3 to 4 days. I log in, I actually just keep them on a notes on my phone, and I record my pay points. Then I can go back and I can look at the trends. I can see what's going on. I can see where I am from last month. It's really important to record them at the end of the month. You want to make sure especially I would say the middle of the month, and then towards the end. You want to start recording like on the 24th, the 26th, the 28th, the last day of the month. Where are your points at? This is important, guys, because if you're not tracking your trends, you have no way of being able to look back and see how you got there. So record your trends. This is actually important for a lot of areas of your life. Spending, phone calls that it takes to get a yes. Are you recording the trends? Are you recording how many phone calls you had to make to get a yes? That's pretty good stuff, isn't it? Oh, it looks like I just went, uh-oh. I hope y'all can still hear me. It looks like, are y'all still there? Did I pause there for a minute?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. So record your trends. We're talking about that. We talked about it's important in so many areas of your life. You're spending. How many phone calls it takes you to get a yes? I was like, oh, wow, that's good stuff. Never thought about that. How many phone calls did it take? Did it take you 13 phone calls to get a yes? Write that down. Did it take you 17 phone calls the next time to get a yes? Write that down. Record your trends so that you know what is normal and what is not. Carrie Wilkerson has lost like 140 pounds. When you guys see her, you'll be shocked. So she used this in her weight loss journey. She recorded every Monday what her weight was, what her carb intake for the day was. This can apply to so many areas of your life. The second thing in accountability is to report to someone else. So important. Find a buddy and tell them your goal, and then ask them to hold you accountable. Do not ask somebody to be your buddy that is not going to hold you accountable, and then don't get mad at them when they hold you accountable. So say you're getting close to gold and you've got 85 points. You want somebody that is going to say, come on, girl, you only need 3 more people. You only need 15 more points. You can do this month. Get to gold this month. You want a buddy that you can report to that will hold you accountable. The other thing she talked about under accountability is responsibility. Take responsibility for where you are. If you're not growing, you have to take responsibility for it and then take action. So when is the last time you sponsored someone? Have you followed up lately? All those things, you have to take responsibility for that. You have to remember that we set the pace for our team, and it starts with you. You set the pace for your team, and it starts with you. Okay? So responsibility. So this is another big thing. Get your highlighter out, put a big X by this. I just thought this was so good. Think about what I'm fixing to say. The things that we track are the things that grow. Did you get that? The things that we track are the things that grow. So in other words, what you are focused on is what you will see. And I was like, what? I didn't know. I was like, where is she going with this? But think about it. If your focus is on people leaving, then do you know the only thing you're going to see is people leaving? If you focus though on growth, then do you know what you're going to see? You're going to see growth. I heard Sarah Marble talking about this, and she was saying it's kind of like riding your bike. And if I'm riding my bike and over here to the right, I see pretty flowers. And all of a sudden I start looking over the side of the pretty flowers. What's going to happen? My bike's going to turn and I'm going to run right into the pretty flowers. Okay. So you got to remember that what you were focused on is what you will see. So, we have no control over results. We only control activity. So if you focus on growth, you're going to see growth. You cannot, if you focus on the negative, then all you're going to see is the negative in your business. So I can vouch for this. Amber can vouch for this. It was one thing actually while she was talking, I felt so blessed to have such a positive team. I mean, 99.9% of the time, you guys are the most positive people out there. A lot of teams aren't like that, but you guys are very positive. If you will stay positive and you will focus on the growth, you'll see growth. Okay. So the D in Brad stands for deadlines. Bad word for a lot of people, right? We're like, ooh, don't give me a deadline. I'll get it done when I get it done. Here's the thing. Without deadlines, nothing would ever get done, right? So when you're not setting a deadline, you're not getting it done. So a couple things about deadlines. You have to define your deadlines, divide them, declare them, and then have the discipline to reach them. So let's think about the Leaders Retreat contest that we just ended. There was a deadline for that. You guys knew the Leaders Retreat contest ended at the end of August, right? Yes. So there was a deadline. It was a strict deadline. That was it. You did not have September 1st to keep working on Leaders Retreat. That was it. And you knew that for months in advance. So there was a deadline. So there's a deadline to go to Hawaii, guys. July 31st, for those of you who don't know, you have to be Emerald. You have to have 1,500 points by July 31st to go to Hawaii. So now, go put it on your calendar. That is a set in stone deadline. No one's changing it. There will be no exceptions to the rule. July 31st. Put it on your calendar, and then you're going to work backwards. So somebody asked me to repeat them. Deadlines, you're going to define them. So we're defining them right now. I want to go to Hawaii by July 31st. That is my deadline. Then you're going to divide it. So you've got July 31st, 2017 on your calendar. Now you have to divide it and work backwards. So I have to divide that up. So where am I right now? Am I a gold ambassador? Am I a ruby ambassador? Where am I? And so now I have to divide it. So I would say you want to start with senior ruby. My personal opinion is that you want to be senior ruby to be safe. I would say by April 31st. No later than April 31st is where you want to be. So see how I'm working backwards? Okay, so now I want to go ruby. So let's say February or March, I want to be ruby. Okay, because you can go from ruby to senior ruby you can go pretty quickly if you work it really hard. So you've got to work backwards and divide those deadlines, okay? Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to declare it. So I'm going to encourage you, when I post this team call, I'll post the playback of this team call. Declare it to us what is your goal? What is your deadline that you're trying to reach? What is it that you want to be? Maybe you are working this part-time, and maybe your goal right now is you're saying, I just want to be gold by December 31st. That's fine, but still declare it and divide it, work backwards. Where did you end last month? Okay, so you know you need to go up next month, and then you need to go up the next month. So declare it. Find a partner to help you get there, guys. That's part of declaring it. And I'm just telling you, for those of you that want to go to Maui next year, you have 9 months, and you can do it in 9 months. It is doable, okay? Like we said, there were people in Kona this year that were silver at this time last year. There were several of them, actually. I've seen several posts today going around. We've on a chat and on a post. There were several people that were silver, guys. They had 3 ambassadors. They were silver ambassadors this time last year. So something else that I heard today was talking about, what am I going to do? How am I going to get there? And a lot of people always talk about, I've ran out of people to talk to. So just make it your goal, make it part of your routine that you're going to talk to 5 new people a day. So you're like, I'm going to talk to 5 new people. I'm going to tell you something really simple of how you talk to 5 new people. You're checking out at Dillard's. The girl you're checking you out. Ask her a simple question of, do you like your job? She's either going to say yes or no. If she says no, then you're like, oh my gosh, I want to share with you what I do. If she says, yes, I love my job, then you're going to say, well, have you ever thought of adding more income into your family? How easy is that? That's not hard, right? That's pretty simple to do. So just another little tip to help you get there. So discipline, it's a hard one. It really is a hard one, but we've talked about it a lot tonight. It is what holds people back. I can tell you all day long to have 4 power hours a week. I can tell you every day I can hop on here and say, who's going to do their power hour today? And it's super easy to raise our hand and say we're going to do it. But do you have the discipline to do it? Discipline is what will give you freedom. So have that discipline that you are going to do this, that you are going to hold yourself accountable, and you are going to stick with it so that you can reach these goals. One of the things, I guess the reason I'm so passionate about it is I want you guys to experience what we've experienced. This is not just another trip that you get to go on. It's not even about the trip necessarily. It's about so much more. And I want you guys to experience it. I watched for the first time, there was 2 Jules last year with me, Amber and Dawn. And then I watched 4 brand new people from our team go this year. I watched Amy and Stephanie and Ashley and Jeannie. And it was so fun to watch their faces. Every time I see them walking around the resort, I kind of got goosebumps because you walk around, your eyes wide open, you're like, oh my gosh, this is really happening to me. And it is eye-opening, and I want you to experience it. But we can't do it for you. And so we can give you everything that we have. We can give you all these tips, but it really boils down to having the discipline to do it. So that was her talk. And man, it was hard, wasn't it? Like it was a little bit was a punch in the gut, and she told us, hey, I'm just coming at you with everything I got. I'm going to give you everything I got, and I can appreciate that. I don't like a speaker that necessarily sugarcoats it, okay? So I appreciated her. You guys that are going to Leaders Retreat, you are going to love her. I hope she gives some of the same stuff here, the same stuff there. Everything that I talked tonight, pretty much everything I think came straight from her. So if you credit her on your, if you say any of this stuff on your team pages, that's fine. Just give her the credit for it because it really does come from Carrie. So you guys are going to love her. And I think that was it. I think I've probably given you enough to like wrap your brain around it for several days, and you'll be chewing on it all day and all night and trying to figure out where you want to start. But I'm going to post this call back, and you guys can sit down and take more notes and go back over it. And I think it's going to help you grow your business. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.